Yo, what's up guys? Chase Revelo here, and in this video we're going to be breaking down point play from Emma Raducanu and Elena Rybakina, okay? So, let's get straight into it. So, Emma Raducanu is going to serve. Let's see it. One thing to notice on her serve, when she steps up, when she goes to step up, her right foot is placed directly under her body. So what that's going to do with that particular stance, it's going to help her get more vertical going up as opposed to having your right foot farther back. So that's something you can implement if you're struggling to get a vertical component on your serve and you want more energy going up. Make sure you place your right foot more under your body instead of farther back. Okay, that's something you should experiment with your coach. That's something you should experiment with your coach and see if it's going to help you. Okay, so now Emma Raducanu hit a great serve down the tee. She got the short ball, okay? Now, she's making a decision now. Let's even go back and watch it again. Let's see her decision on the approach shot. Let's see if it's a good decision, and I'm going to also guess and see where I think she should go. Let's see. She goes down the tee. Great serve. Opponent slices, gives the short ball. She can clearly start seeing it floating. She's moving up, right? She recognizes the short ball. Notice how she did those quick adjustment steps. You're probably not doing that right now. You got to make sure the ball's floating, the ball's slow, don't let up. Most people, they see a slow ball and now they move slower. Whereas you should see a slow ball coming and you should actually move faster, right? You should have better footwork against worse players, right? Versus a lot of people, they only work harder with their feet when they play against better players, which is kind of doesn't even make sense. So make that mindset shift. Now, let's get back to the point with Emma Raducanu. Now, her opponent is right in the middle of the court, so she's got to make a decision. Can I for sure hit a winner cross court? If not, go down the line. So in this position, I think Raducanu is good enough. She could potentially hit a winner cross court. Let's see the height that she makes contact. Okay, how did I know that? All right, I literally didn't even watch this shit before. I literally didn't even watch it. And just based on the positioning, right? And not only her positioning, but the ball positioning, right? The ball was floating. She could make contact at a good height. And she's, one of the top women in the world. So it makes total sense why she could execute a winner off that, right? If that was a D1 player, it'd be the same thing. She could execute that. If it was, just a high-level junior, same thing as well, right? So the lesson there is, how did I know that she's going to go cross-court? She could have gone down the line, but strategically, there's a reason why she went cross-court. Because her opponent was right in the middle of the court, and she literally made that decision. Okay, should I go cross or line? Can I hit a winner cross court? If the answer is yes, go for that. If not, go down the line. Simple as that. Follow that to a T. It's going to transform your game. Let's keep going. Banger clips already. Okay. Now, Rybakina serving now. All right. Let's see what she does. Same thing she's doing on her serve. Okay, her right foot is more directly under her body, which is going to help her get a vertical component. If you notice, her shoulder elbow angle is really good. Keeping the left arm up, very good. Okay, but notice her shoulder elbow angle. This is something that you can watch for your own footage and see if you can replicate that. Does your shoulder elbow angle replicate something very similar to this? And it's about the trajectory and the angle that is pointing up. Are your shoulders more like this, or are your shoulders more like this, right? So that's something you can also check for. Now let's see where she goes. Let's see. She goes out wide. Let's check out Raducanu's return footwork here. So notice how she's doing little hop steps like this. She's doing little hop steps like this right now. Look. Okay. Split, wide stance. Look how separated her legs are. Look at how the angle of her upper leg is. Okay? And she places all her weight, most of her weight, on the right leg here. You can clearly see it. her body transfers over from centered and balanced to more over on this side here. Okay, let's actually go back and watch that again, slower. So she did the little hop step. She's getting ready. Split. Look at her torso here. Her torso currently is in the center of her body, right? Her leg is here, her other leg is here, her foot's here. Completely balanced, right? Now, as she takes that step, you see her weight is now shifting over. Her weight is shifting over this way, right? Now, her weight's on the right foot. She pushes off the right, okay, and rotates. All right, now she goes cross. Good decision of Raducanu to go back cross court there. Okay, now interesting decision here to go for the backhand. Okay, now if I were her coach, I think she should find a forehand here. Okay, let's go back and look. Serve out wide, solid return, neutral ball cross. She gets it back deep. Raducanu goes open stance, which, by the way, you're probably not doing. Go to open stance, not closed. Go to open stance. And Raducanu hits a ball short. At the pro level, this is a really short ball. Right at the service line, that's got to be like alarms going off in your brain. So this should be a forehand, not a backhand. Unless she's trying to really go angle kind of cross court here, which I'm curious to see if she's going to do. But that would be kind of the only reason if you feel like, okay, my backhand cross in this position, okay, by maybe taking some time away, which I don't think she's doing here. But if she were to step up, take some time away, maybe it would make sense to execute that backhand cross court. Okay, but let's see what she does. Okay, she hits a good ball cross. Not a great shot, but solid. Notice Raducanu, again, weight on the left foot, open stance, left toe and left foot is pivoted and pointing to the side. Okay? So I want you to do this for your own game because it's the right thing to do, but also pay attention. A top player is doing it as well. All the top players are doing this. So why aren't you doing it? Cross. Good. Let's see. Okay. And now she goes close stance here. You can do that. Okay. But I would be more of a proponent of her going open stance here. Yeah. I mean, and look, it's no mystery. Like, I didn't know she was going to miss that shot. She could have totally made that. But to me, that's a lack of footwork. And because of the lack of footwork, terrible decision there to go down the line. Let's actually watch that again. I want to see it more in full speed. Let's go from the beginning of that point. Out wide, cross, cross again, middle ball, error there. Should have gone forehand. Raducanu makes her move. I mean, you can go for that. She can go for that. But I would still set up in an open stance there, actually. Because if you set up in an open stance, you're going to be a little less predictable with your changes of direction, and you're still going to be able to go cross court if you need to. A lot easier because your hips will be more open as well. It'll be easier for you to fire your hips, turn your hips, and you'll also have a little bit more leverage planting your left foot, your outside foot on the outside of the ball a little bit more. When you plant, you'll be able to push from the ground, turn your hips in a way easier way than if you start with your right foot way in front and you're taking a big step. Now your left hip is really closed off and your hips have to turn so much to get around, right? So it's just way easier to execute this shot. Even if you want to go line, I would still recommend going open stance there, okay? The ball wasn't even really short or anything like that. So there was really no reason. Yeah, there was no reason. Actually, the ball was pretty short, but she didn't even cut the court. She just moved laterally. So if I was her coach, if I was Elena Raducanu's coach, what I would coach her on is she needs to work on her forward and back movement, and she needs to take a little bit more space and time away from her opponent, which, at least in this practice point, she's not doing well enough. Let's see here. Notice when Raducanu has a lot of time, all the time in the world, she might go close stance sometimes. When she's on the run, open stance. Okay, let's take a look at this. Raducanu flips up a ball floating, okay, and little off balance there, and it's floating. Rybakina notices and starts to move up. Now she's moving up with a close stance there. Okay, and I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but it's true. It's a lot easier to move through these, okay, and flow through it in an open stance. Okay, it's not saying you have to go open stance every time, but if you look at how she's moving, let's see how fluid she is going forward. It's not bad. The only issue with that is you're having to move forward while you're in a closed stance. That's a lot harder. You have to do different types of footwork than if you're able to literally run forward, more open stance, and then just plant your outside foot, your left foot, take a step, and then hit your shot. It's a lot easier on your hips. It's a lot easier to time as well, and you're going to flow through it a lot better as well. So you can totally do that close stance, do a little hop step like she did. A lot of coaches teach that as well. It's a good skill to have as well, but to me, it's still a no-brainer opportunity for her. She's good enough. She's a good enough athlete. Go open stance. Flow through it. Flow through it. Let's see her split step here. It's an okay split step. Not that good of a split step, to be honest. Open stance. Cross. Open stance again. Wow. Let's see that. Cross court. So notice actually, look what Raducanu does actually. Look at how she's actually going a little forward here. So she's on the run, purely moving laterally. Raducanu is purely moving laterally here. Okay? She pivots the right foot out to the side. She rips it. Okay? Now, she recovers purely laterally as well. Little off center because she went cross court. Okay, so she's basically anticipating the cross court ball back, which is good. Now, notice how she actually starts to see the ball going shorter. So if you look, she's actually starting to move a little diagonally forward. And she's actually going to place her right foot more in front of her body. Look, her right foot is actually in front of her left foot. If you actually look at it, she's basically almost walking like on a tightrope, but her left foot is kind of behind. Okay, so she plants the right. Her weight is basically all on the right foot there. Okay, look, the left foot's not even on the ground. And then she turns her hips. Okay, you can replicate that for yourself as well. That's a crazy down the line shot. Let's check it out again. Cross, shorter ball. Yeah, so the lesson there as well, like obviously the stance is really important. But more important than that is her ability to say, I recognize the ball early. It's going to be shorter. So I'm going to move my body weight forward. I'm going to move my body weight forward now. Okay. And that helped her with that down the line execution shot. Okay. Not only because she's going to get her weight through the ball, but because she gets to the ball a little earlier, the ball's going to get over and land on her opponent's side earlier than if she would have waited. Okay, so it just makes it a lot harder from a movement standpoint for her opponent to get there. All right, so that's another big ticket item. Let's do another point here. Weight on the right leg. Split step, weight on the right leg, push off, lands on the left. Clearly, this is objective. This is totally objective here, and you can replicate this for yourself. Even if she's not going forward so much with her momentum, she's still hitting all the checkpoints. Her weight's on her outside leg, then she pushes off, she makes contact, and then her left foot touches down. Okay? And when you look at a player, especially at this level, missing a return, first of all, you're going to miss shots. That's part of the game. But look at what's within your control, and let's just see, was there anything like that you didn't do great there that's within your control that we could adjust, right? So like if I was her coach, execution, like miss-wise, that's a great miss. She missed it a little bit long, a foot or two long. Great miss there. But let's take a look at like her legs and like, could she do something even better? I would argue there's not a ton of energy in her split step. She should do a bigger jump, in my opinion, and learn to time that by timing the split step a little earlier, jumping a little earlier, because if you're going to do a higher jump in the split step, you need to adjust by jumping earlier, or else you're going to be late. All right, you don't want to be floating in the air as the ball's coming to you, right? So you want to make sure you time that, but you're going to get additional energy by actually jumping a little higher, using gravity to assist you, and then using that momentum and energy to push into the shot, especially when someone's serving big at you. Okay, she pivoted the foot, okay? Now, something objective that she didn't do here. It's clear as day, you can see it here. She planted, pushed off, and landed in the same spot. It's not wrong, you can do that. I'm 100% sure she's made balls like that. But would it be as good as if she pushed off from her legs and landed at least a little bit forward into the court? Would that help her or would that hurt her? I would argue that would help her tremendously. She might still miss it. No guarantee she's going to make it. However, it's something that's within her control that, in my opinion, would increase her odds of success. Okay? Very small detail there. Very small detail. Overall, that's a good miss, though. That's a good miss. We're just being very picky with that. Let's see. Split. I noticed she has a wider stance here. Takes a step out, pushes off. Okay. So, let's see. Interesting. So, look. Okay, so this is a clear situation. You're going to face this as well, right? You hit a good shot to your opponent's backhand. They're on the run. They slice it. They float it up. They're giving you a short ball, okay? Now, you're preparing. Okay, now you're getting ready to hit. Raducanu is on this side over here, a little offset. So if you're Rybakina, you have to make a decision. Am I going to go cross? Which for her, think about it like if you're hitting the shot on that side, right? So think about it like, I know she's hitting a forehand here, but down the line versus cross court, this is still either inside out would be like the cross court, and then down the line would just be inside in. But think about it the same way. It doesn't really change the rule, okay? So she can go inside out or down the line, and if she goes cross court or inside out, she's got to hit a winner on it. Based on the fact that Raducanu is in this position far back, okay, at the Melbourne sign here, and she's on the backhand side, she's in the corner that you would have to hit the winner on, it's going to be very difficult, especially against a top pro, to hit a winner off that, okay? Now, let's see. Okay, so it's interesting how Raducanu is actually anticipating a little bit right as she's hitting the ball. She's already starting to move over a little bit. At the highest level, and it's tough to see this with the naked eye, but at this level, they're really, really good at anticipation and reading these situations because they've been in the trenches for a while and they know and they can read their opponent's body. So she's already moving over and anticipating, right? Going here. Maybe she's thinking about what we were talking about strategically of like, okay, I'm in this side, so she's probably going to go down the line. So once she commits to the shot, she's going to kind of anticipate and guess that target and start moving over there. And look, she's there with plenty of time. She's probably going to hit a cross-court winner here. How did I guess that? How did I guess that? Come on, don't play yourself. Got to be practicing your serves. The serves are the highest leverage activity that you can do. Got to prioritize your serve training. here's one thing you can do to improve your returns, okay? You're going to apply this simple rule. You're going to copy Raducanu here, and you're going to hit your return, and you're going to come into net straight after. Let's take a look. What this is going to do is it's going to get you into the habit, and I would do this on second serve returns, okay? On second serve returns, hit the return and come into net. Don't like hit it, watch, and then come in. No. Hit it and come into net, basically at the same time, right? Prioritize obviously executing the return, but hit the return, come into net, and your body weight transfer is going to be significantly better. And it's going to show you what's really possible with your body weight going through the ball. Okay. Oftentimes players don't get their weight through the ball enough. So this is even good for coaches out there, is if you're working with a student and they're not really getting their weight into the return, let's say you're even telling them, okay, land a little bit forward into the court, right? Get your weight forward. Sometimes people are slow to implement and they're not really going to, apply it in the full capacity. So what you can do is apply this where they have to return and come into net. And that's one way that you can objectively, for sure, get them to be kind of flowing through it more and kind of being a little bit more aggressive with those returns and with their aggressive body weight going forward. Okay, so that's a big ticket item that you can apply to improve your return today.
If you are the owner or manager of a building with a flat top roof, then...
All right, guys, we're going to watch one more, and then we're going to wrap up this video. Let's go. Good open stance there. Amazing. Remember what I said earlier, okay, about Raducanu and her changing of direction when she was kind of sloppy with her legs, going close stance on the run and trying to go down the line. It's like the decision and the work didn't really match up. So let's see here. Let's actually see it from the beginning. So serve out wide, kick serve out wide. Raducanu does a good job there. Solid. Open stance, cross, open stance here. Look how far she's placing her leg. Look at this actually from Raducanu. She literally stretches her leg out so much. Look at this, look. Taking a step, and then look at this left leg lunge here. She's basically, like, think about how wide her stance is here. It's crazy, all right? You got to replicate that as well, okay? And then she goes open stance, change of direction. Game changer. Also, the reason why that's really effective is because what I said earlier about when you set up in the open stance, your opponent isn't going to be like, oh, they're for sure going to go down the line. Because most of the time when you go open stance, it allows your hips to be great when you go cross court. What people aren't going to tell you is that it's also an amazing thing for your down the line shots. All right. I was not coached that when I was younger. They're like, oh, go close stance on these shorter balls. It's like, fuck no. That's total bullshit. That's total fucking bullshit. All right. Open stance. Open stance. The best coaches in the world coach open stance. If you're not learning that, you're getting ripped right now. Last one, then we wrap it up. Big serve T. Good serve. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Make the sacrifices today to make your dreams come true. You won't regret it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.